ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more. All on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet events to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung and Amel Joseph on Global Television.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Entertainment Circle. I am Chung Annamel Joseph and we've got you a jam-packed showline for you today, from the latest blockbuster releases shaking up the box office to the sensational stars lighting up our screens. We're here to bring you all the boozing from the world of entertainment. Today, we'll also delve deep into the captivating evolution of Nollywood, Nigeria's cinematic treasure that has not only transformed the local film industry but also made waves globally. We will explore how Nollywood has revolutionized storytelling, connected cultures, and significantly impacted the Nigerians' social economy. Plus, we'll hear insight from our special guest, an industry veteran with first-hand experience of these remarkable changes. We will be going on a short break, so grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's get ready to cycle through the latest and greatest in entertainment. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music.
Fast-rising Nigerian music star Kumi debuted at number 2 on the Spotify Global Viral Chart thanks to the success of his hit single, Arike. This makes him the first emerging Nigerian artist to manage such a feat. The song, released February 15, 2025, has enjoyed huge success after going viral on TikTok, where the song has been used over 186 user-generated content. Arike also debuted on the summit of the Spotify Nigeria Viral's 5th chart, Thors, making him his first chart topper. The song joins CK's Love Nwantiti and Rema's record-breaking hit Calm Down as one of the highest charting Nigerian songs on Spotify Global Viral Charts. Kumi is emerging as the first breakout star of 2025 thanks to the hit record that has now reached 7 million Spotify streams in under 1 month since its release. The 17th edition of the Headies Award is set to recognize an exciting new category, Soundtrack of the Year, spotlighting original songs created for films and TV series. This non-voting category celebrates the fusion of music and cinema, acknowledging 6 Nollywood productions that have delivered compelling soundtracks. Among the nominees are Eledumare from Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectra, performed by Tele Dalase, and Lose to Gain from Breath of Life, composed by Kaleen, and Emotions, a collaboration between Tiwa Savage and Asha for Water and Gari. Also in the running are Kilbora's title track by Native Filmworks and Wizard Chan, Orisha by Beriola from Orisha, and the soundtrack for A Tribe Called Judah, produced by TCJ and Abi Wonder. Marvel's Captain America Brave New World is maintaining its stronghold on the Nigerian box office, edging closer to 300 million naira milestone after 3 weeks in the theaters. The latest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe pulled in an additional 43.9 million naira between February 28th and March 2nd, bringing its total to 298 million naira, according to figures from the Nigerian box office. The film, an impressive start, debuting with 137.5 million naira in its open weekend, marking the biggest premiere of 2025 in Nigeria. Brave New World also led the box office during the February 14th to 16th weekend, further providing Nigeria's increasing demand for blockbuster superhero film. Marvel Studios and Disney continue to see success in the Nigerian market, where Hollywood releases have gained a loyal following. By the end of its second week, Brave New World had already grossed 222 million naira, adding 57.6 million between February 21st and 23rd. While its dominance in Nigeria remains clear, its global perception paints a more complicated picture. And before we go into talking with our guests for today, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll get to meet our guests, have our conversation, and enjoy the day. So stay tuned.
Ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more. All on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet events to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Annabelle Joseph on Global Television.
You're welcome back from the short break, and if you're just catching up with us today, welcome to Entertainment Circle. The Nigerian film industry has evolved significantly since its inception in the late 20th century. Its growth and development have been substantial impacts on the Nigerian social economy. We'll be discussing with Agility Onwura, the founder of the Nollywood New Yam Festival, now Nollywood Cultural Heritage Festival. He is also the chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria, Abuja Chapter, President Association of Entertainment Practitioners, an actor, producer, and a director. You're welcome to Entertainment Circle today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a small correction.
Okay, go ahead.
I was the chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria
Okay.
between 2010 and 2017.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It was
So
a long time, but still.
Okay.
You know, when you
Once
do
a chairman
well,
is always a
yes,
chairman.
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
thanks for that. Really, I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to just go straight into, the industry itself, and there are so many things now when it comes to like technology. I would say for sure that, the Nollywood has really evolved in a way, we can't compare what has happened in the 90s and 2000s to what is happening now, 2024, from way back 2024, and now it's 2025. So for someone who has been not just in the, only the production aspect of it, you're also a director, you've also been an actor, or even still an actor, and been part of the industry, like fully committed. So some of this evolution, just tell us how, the evolution has revolved all through the years. Like, how can you rate it?
The changes is happening all over the world. It's a global change,
Right.
and we are following the trend. When we started, though we are a little behind some other countries, but we are still trying to follow, because when we started the VHS thing, then we went to CD, then we went, and those days, because we only have just businessmen investing their monies, it was hard for some producers and some actors to, but with the internet boom and so many other things, you find out that there are so many other things you can still do with quality food, quality gadgets, still get results, and still have a platform to showcase what you're creating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You've even touched like the next question I wanted to ask you, and then now for all that you said, it now brings me to the will I say the advancement when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
Now we can compare the cameras. We have different cameras out there. We have different lighting out there. We have some kind of editing skills that, on a normal day, someone cannot just think about it. I know over the years, you can't just imagine that those editing skills will be present today, because I know for sure you have been in the industry for like a very, very long time. Yeah, so let's talk about how the technology has advanced the filmmaking process now compared to the 2000s and all that. So how do you think it has improved? Because, you know, I've heard people talk about, oh, the Nigerian movie, you know, the quality is bad, you know, some of the effects they use in making the movie. And I've heard a lot of people also say, no, I won't watch Nigerian movie because it's like, this is so unreal. There are some acts that they say and they're like, no, I can't do that. So with all that knowledge, you know, bringing all of that together and where we are today, what will you say about the technology advancement?
The truth about the technology, like I said, it's a global thing and it's changing.
Right.
Those days we don't shoot on green screen, but now we do, and we've perfected some effects that we used to do before, you know, in our editing. But for some people saying they will watch Nigerian movies or they will not. Me, I know as a child, I watched Indian films, and somebody will fall from a 23-story building, then somebody will run down and still meet up and catch the person, and we watch it with joy. Sometimes there are productions you watch it with a mindset of relaxation.
True.
It's a make-believe story. That's what we are telling, and we are telling stories like every other people. Americans do sky movies, do zombies. There are no zombies anywhere in the world.
True.
You understand? Do werewolf, and people see it and they agree to it. Most of the times, it's a see finish attitude for some people, believing that we can do something better, but we always do. We always disappoint them.
Yeah, I think we're even disappointing them already.
No, always we do.
Okay, so let's talk about, you know, when it comes to digital filming and online streaming. Now, how has it influenced Nollywood when it comes to, you know, when it comes to the technology? Because those days, we know that, it has to be maybe cassettes or CDs. You know, I remember that year that when I want to watch certain movies, I'll have to go rent the CD or I will have to buy it and all of that. But now with the coming in of, you know, social media and all of that, how has it even improved, even when it comes to the monetizing, you know, making end meet, like trying to just make sure that the movie ends and all of that? Now, what will you say about the influence of those platforms and, of course, social media to the film industry?
For that one, I would say it actually helped actors more, the faces on the screen, because back in the days, it is always the producers that, you know, have it all.
Right, true.
You know, I remember that Actors Guild of Nigeria is more than 25 years, and we are still fighting for royalties for actors. We don't have it. So if it's a one-time thing for you to appear on a film, and the producer takes everything and all the things. But now with the social media influence, with the online streaming thing, so I can, even if it's not in the movie, I can come to my page, my screen, and say things, people will follow me, and I'll get more money that will keep me for my upkeep and so many other things. If you check too, you find out that in recent time, there's reduction of people going online to ask for help, because there are so many other things you can do online that will fetch you money than going to ask for help.
True.
You understand? Because those days, because you're shortchanged by producers, by people that are contracting you, it is hard for you. But now, why not? You can use your phone, you can use so many other things to try to make extra cash for yourself and help you keep your life going. So it has done wonderfully well for the industry, it has done wonderfully well for actors and even the producers, because most of them have so many channels, so many TV streaming apps, and they produce and they make more money than when they were doing the VHS and the CDs. Okay,
really, that's very correct. Now let's move into storytelling, which is like the major thing. That is what film is all about. Is, you know, it's all about storytelling, and I know that for sure we have evolved when it comes to storytelling. Now, we can't compare the kind of stories that we communicate or the film industry communicate. Now, that brings me to, you know, talking about movies like that is always portraying, oh, you have to go to the forest to go and bring an egg. And I know it's entertaining, you know. I used to love that kind of movie because it's like it keeps you there. It teaches you tradition, you know, the outfit, and then there's excitement in it, even though some of them are quite scary. But then they are really good. But then now when it comes to the storytelling aspect, now has what has changed? What do you think, if you want to make a comparison from how the storytelling, you know, the kind of stories that the Nollywood film communicates to the audience, now how has the storytelling really evolved?
Yes, I would say that for me, there's no end to stories,
Right.
because it's fiction, it's fabricated ideas.
Right.
But from where I'm coming from,
Okay.
I like it cultural.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not local. I like telling it the way it is. Believe you me, I'll still tell you. If you put a good money in telling an original African story,
Yeah.
you make more sales.
True.
Because that's what they want to see.
True.
We are allowing some people to tell our story for us, and they will tell it the way they want.
Yes.
If we take our time, I'll tell you some of the stories that have made name in the industry, that don't have to do with rituals and all this, but normal, like Igodo of
Yeah.
those days. Something that shows the powers of people,
Right.
the originality of people, what people are. Is in recent time, before now, some of the producers that we have started telling stories as if everything that everybody is doing is bad.
Right.
They portrayed it in a wrong way. Like those days, if somebody say Amadioha, you think it's a juju. No.
Yeah.
In Igbo language, Amadioha is not juju. Amadioha is spring god. But when people started telling story around Amadioha, and everything they tell about Amadioha is going to the shrine, killing people,
Yeah.
people now
It portrayed
thinking as if Amadioha is
fetish.
fetish. Amadioha is not. So these are some of the things that probably if they start telling, people will. Because I remember very well that you must have stories that those days, people that go to America, they will ask them, is it true that Africans live on the trees?
Yeah, true.
Because that's the story they were told. So we need to start telling our
Our
own
own
African
story.
story well, for them to know that our story are good stories, wonderful stories. We've not tapped it. We've not tried. We've not done anything on it. I have 2 stories that I'm looking at that we might be getting to put up soon and see what we can get.
Okay, so in all of this, have you noticed any shift when it comes to the storytelling, or you've just noticed that, oh, we're just changing the narrative?
No,
in
there's
this?
shift.
Okay.
There's shift. People call it Gen Z time, and
Yes,
you know,
Gen Z time.
most of the time, for every other thing that you're doing, you need to have a targeted audience.
True.
And in recent time, most of the things that we're doing to put online, especially in the internet media,
Right.
is for the Gen Z's world. They are the ones that have the phone. They are always there. They are the ones that will look it up. They are the ones that click it. So you try to give them what they want. But I still know that if we have to tell our original stories, most of them might want to still know how their culture runs.
True. I think that is really is going to really make more sense, because, you know, I think right now in the whole Gen Z scene and like how the generation is right now, is like we're really forgetting our culture
So
and
many.
our values.
So many.
Really. Because, you know, compared to when my parents, while I was growing up, I know my parents were really serious about, oh, learn this about your culture, know this about your culture. But then parents now, you know, young parents now are trying to emulate now the
Gen Z parents.
yes, exactly, you know, Western life, Western world, and then we now tend to forget our own culture. So until, you know, in that movie industry, until we use the entertainment platform to be precise, to sell the culture, then maybe there's going to be a lot of work to do.
That was why we started Nollywood Cultural Heritage Festival.
Okay.
Actually, it used to be Nollywood New Yam Festival.
yeah,
We started it like 13 years ago. And the idea was to see how we can try in our small way to bring back the cultures. Like last year, our theme was the role of African woman in sustaining African culture.
Right.
An African way of upbringing. It is the mother that teaches the child the first things that they know.
No, true.
It is the food that the mother cooks at home that the child eats.
Right.
It's the clothes that the mother wears the children. That's what they wear. It is the language that the mother speaks.
Yes.
That's what the children speak.
True.
Now you see children asking for only Indomie, smashed egg and stuff.
True.
While we when we're growing, we drink pap, we eat more healthy,
food
than now.
Right.
2, the clothes we wear now, you see children wearing skimpings, things, torn clothes. Those days, if your clothes is torn, your mother will go to market and buy a patch. They sell patches in the market and patch your clothes. Now, mothers go to the market and buy torn jeans for their kids and wear them. You understand?
Right.
And it's the language that the mother speaks. I'm not removing the fathers, but I'm saying that you find that the role of the mother have a lot to do with bringing up a child.
First point of contact.
And we started losing it. I'm part of the general opinion that says train a girl child and you train a nation. You train a mother and you have good generational kids that will come out. Most of the things that we're doing is when we leave the children to do what they want, they'll grow to be what they grew.
True. They grow, and whatever they see in the society, they go with the trend.
Because that thing that you fail to teach them, another person will teach them something else, and that's what they will know.
Oh. Oh, this is really touching. You know, I had to pause for a while to actually, you know, digest, take it in, and also digest it. Now, you know, you're already talking about the cultural events, like
Nollywood Cultural Heritage Festival.
Exactly. Now, I was going to talk about that, but it's going to be later as we continue talking.
No problem.
But then this thing that you just said just pinched me in a way that, like, I really want you to, you know, say more about the cultural festival itself, and then the impacts to like young generation, and for people to understand that how do you get to participate? Do you have to be an actor? Because whatever it is teaching you Nigerian culture, that means it is for all Nigerians and for every other person around the world to learn about the Nigerian culture and tradition. Now, how can young people really get involved into that, and how can it impact their lives?
Okay, over the years, like I said, this year will be our 13th edition, and it has really grown. We have several parts to it. This year, it will be coming up on the 30th and 31st of October, then 1st of November. It will be a 3 days program. And on that 3 days, we are looking at, you know, city tours. We're partnering with the Ministry of Tourism to visit some sites in Abuja that will tell stories. Then we have African Food Fest. We are writing to some embassies and some states to bring in their local food, you know, where we have everybody, have people test other people's food. There are so many food that are medicinal. For instance, I'll tell you, I met with one doctor last year during my going around, and he was telling me that pap that we stopped drinking it's causing so many people to have pile.
Wow.
Because children don't drink
pap.
So you find out that most those things that pap does, the strength, the nutrients it has that help in you know,
growth, strength, and all of that.
That we're missing it because we are now going for packed food and you know, preservatives that are doing. But I find out that for real, there are food that you eat. We remember our grandfathers; they eat leaves, fresh things, and they grow old, still strong. Now we eat canned things and preserved food, microwave, put in the refrigerator, junk, and now after eating it, the book will still tell you don't eat in the night, don't eat in the day, don't.
True.
If you eat well, you can eat at any time.
True.
Are you now getting it? If you eat healthy, you can eat at any time. It's when you eat junks that you now start checking, if I eat by 11, then it will grow my tummy.
Yeah, true.
You understand? So that's the part. Then we are doing, this year we are doing a fashion trend. We are bringing so many people that will do so many African fabrics with our theme. I'll tell you that for 6 years now, I've been trying to talk with the Ministry of Information that during Dora Akunyili, she said that for civil servants, you must wear African clothes at least once a week, Friday. And what I'm proposing now is that let's wear foreign clothes, one a day, because we're Africans. Who says that if I wear agbada, I can't count money in the bank? Who say that if I wear kaftan, it won't be? Must I wear tie to show that I work in the bank?
Right.
Are you getting it? You're a presenter. If you tie your gere, you still look beautiful.
Good.
So why do we now have to encourage to wear something else? Yes. Let's wear ours. Let's market what we have.
True.
Let's market our own. You understand? Then we now have other culture, dance from every tribe, food from every tribe. Then we usually do award. And in our award in Africa, if they want to award you, they don't give plaques. They give you title from communities. So I usually have royal fathers from everywhere, north, south, east, west, and they usually join hands to, coronate some persons that have actually helped, in marketing either the industry or promoting culture or helping humanity.
Yeah.
You always have your criteria, and it's a merit.
Okay, that's great. Now, you've not still spoken about how young people are going to actually learn from all of that.
Yes, there are so many things that this year, for instance, we are doing Face of Nollywood Cultural Heritage Festival. It will be starting by next month, and we will run through. We have it has 4 categories. It has 4 steps to get the winner. You understand? The first one is you have to take a picture on your cultural attire, wherever you are in the world. Your cultural attire, tell people what you're wearing, and post online. Your likes takes you to the next one. The next one, you tell us, it's a video, a 3-minute video that you tell us about your people in your language.
Okay.
I always tell people, I say, those days, we watch Indian films. We don't understand India, but we understand the film.
Okay.
So you need to tell a story, even when
understand and relate to
it's called communication. So
true.
I don't need to understand the language, but I will understand what you're trying to market.
True.
You understand? Then we'll have another video of you. All these are online.
Okay.
So you are not coming physical. It's online. It's people out there that will vote you in or vote you out.
Okay, so you're basically trying to say in this particular, festival, because it has to do with Africa, our culture,
yes,
our tradition.
Yes.
Make sure that we don't forget our heritage.
Exactly.
We're bringing every other person, every Nigerian, to be participant of whatever it is that we're giving out, and also, expose you to understand your culture,
own culture
and going deep. If you're telling me to come and participate in whatever, and you're telling me to come and speak my language, then I'll have to know, okay, if I'm going to say this particular line, then I have to go back to the roots.
Exactly.
I have to maybe go make research about my culture, get to understand certain things. So it's all about you, for the young people to go all out there, be so passionate about where you're coming from, be passionate about home. Don't leave home and move to the Western world just because you want to follow the trend.
Yes.
And you also said something that I really, really, I like it in a way, but I don't know how possible that is.
Yeah.
We say that we are in okay, let's talk about the corporate industry.
Yes.
And then you're working in the bank, and they say it's a corporate job.
Yeah.
And then you're going to the bank on a Monday morning when you know that you're just going to be using all the counting money and then running up and down, and then you're wearing agbada. Yeah, I know that it is our attire, but then in Nigeria, we can use our fabric to make whatever kind of outfit is.
But you can wear suits.
No, yes, you can wear suit, but the same thing, you can still use that fabric to make. You can use your Ankara. You can use any traditional fabric to make your blazer.
Yes, yes. But what we are saying is that I'm not thinking. No, it's not impossible. It's because that's the way we've seen it over time.
Yeah,
we are seeing it because Agbada is a 3-piece, so you can come in and drop your ganchiki, and you wear your in and walk.
Well, okay, let's see how that works. Anyways, I'll just say let's see how that works. Okay, let's just move back to, we're Nigerians, we love our country, and then in the industry, I would say we even though Nigerian movie industry, which is in Nollywood, is evolving, but then how has the Nigerian economy, or how has Nollywood contributed to the country's economy, because you know the Nollywood has impacted personally to viewers, personally to producers, to actors and actresses, because you know everyone, if you're coming out to give in your talent, your craft, of course you don't expect to just give out your craft and be like, oh, I'm just donating my craft to you people, because it's going to cost you time, energy, and you have to make money to sustain your livelihood. If you're not making money, then at the end of the day you might just end up somewhere I do not know. But then let's get to now discuss some of this Nollywood impact on Nigeria's economy. How has the film industry also, how it has contributed to job creation and then the growth of the country's economy?
Okay, let me start by one. Nollywood industry helped in laundering the image of Nigeria. At a point during those military era, Nigeria people, there are so many mockeries, there were so many backbiting. People don't think that Nigeria really exists. And I'll tell you that Nollywood actually helped in making Nigeria the giant of Africa. We built Nigeria, we made Nigeria have a big name in the global picture. Secondly, apart from the federal government, I don't think there's any other establishment that employs more people than Nollywood, apart from the federal government. Because on the average, directly or indirectly, for every movie to come to the screen, you have so many people that tap from there. You have the welfare people, the costumiers, the makeup, apart from the actors. You have the DPs, the light person, the sound person, the engineers, so many other people. So at every other time you find out that there are so many people employed in trying to make this production come to be. And these people are employed in this industry. In as much as, because it's the highest employer of labor on a private sector.
Yes, it is.
That's the truth. For Actors Guild of Nigeria, we have more than 2 million members across the 36 states and FCT. And then you can imagine. And there are so many other actors that are not members of Actors Guild of Nigeria. And there are so many producers, so many directors, production managers, and so many other people, location managers that are in. So you can imagine the size of what the Nollywood have been doing. Yes, the government have been saying from time to time that we contribute between 2 and the 3% of the GDP to Nigerian economy, and which is true, because for every other time you look, Funke Akindele movie last year grobbed over 2 billion. Are you getting it? And all these things trickles down to both the crew, the members, and Nigeria economy as well. So I think that Nollywood have done a lot when it comes to, you know, Nigeria economy and helping to bring people out from the street.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that, like 100%, because you know it's not easy if people can be like talented and then they are being recognized, no matter how little you know, as little as being a makeup artist, as little as being like a costumier. I know that it's not an easy job, because some of these things are creativity. You have to be talented, you have to be very versatile, and then you have to also move with the trend. So someone who does not have that interest in wanting to learn cannot be in that particular phase. Now let's now turn the, like, you know, let's switch it to how, you know, now we're talking about Nollywood trying to impact on the economy. Now, has the government really supported that the creative industry now when it comes to now Nollywood? Because I remember then during Goodluck Jonathan's regime, you know, when he came in, I think he was really invested into trying to commit to, you know, the growth of the Nollywood industry itself. Because I remember he even pledged money and grants and all of that to make sure that the industry really progress and all of that. Because, you know, you also spoke about how Nollywood has really exposed Nigeria outside. No, before the coming of digitalization, like in the sense of social media, you know, the handsets and all of that, Nollywood was still out there. People were still watching. And, you know, people who are not Nigerians that found themselves in Nigeria got to now learn certain things about the culture. So that alone, I think it has really taken the culture, you know, outside just Nigeria. But then, has it been like impactful in any way where the government has supported the industry to get to where they are, or it's like just like a one-man job, or you know, every other company or every other person is trying to work so hard to see how they can bring out their craft?
The truth is that the government is trying, but they've not done enough.
Right.
That's the truth, because there are so many things that need to be done. Some of us have been outside this country. We've met other countries' production, film industry, and how it's been done. For instance, like 6 years ago, thereabout, I was in India for a meeting, and I got to understand that the Indian government every year invests about $2 billion to the industry. And they use this to sell some of their policies, some of their culture. That's why when you watch Indian film, you find out that what they sell most is their culture and some of the government policies. You understand?
Right.
It happens everywhere. And we are trying to make Nigerian government follow suit. Because, for instance, if you have a policy that you want to change this TV station, and you're planning to implement it next year, December, if you start a movie production this year with it, by the time the policy comes out, even people will be as if they've known this all the time.
Exactly.
Are you getting it? That's why most of the policies that people see, people will be biting, fighting against it, trying to say, why is this? But sometimes, if we plan, if we have time, a planning time, and there are policies that you think that it might be hard to people, or you want people to understand it before it comes to being, why not join the industry? Use this industry. Spend your money. You do some adverts. There's no way you won't spend money. Why not? Put money in the marketing. Make noise out of it. People will get to know it. People will start seeing that policy even before the government bring out the policy. There are still so many laws that will be done. For instance, Actors Guild of Nigeria is not a government agency, and I said we have close to 2 million people.
Yeah, you mentioned.
If there are policies in the government that will make people join a trade union or association to be an actor, like it is with the SAG of America, you find out that there are so many other things the government can use it to do. That platform to do. That and manpower to do. You understand? I believe they are trying, but there's still a lot to be done.
Okay. Then I'm very sure. Well, I don't know, but I'm hopeful as well that the government will see reasons to invest. You know, they say what is worth doing is worth doing well. When there's a potential in something, even as a father to a child, when you see a child that is working so hard, let's take for instance, he's talented and he can play maybe violin or maybe trumpet or flute or whatever he can play, and he's good at it. As a father, you want to invest in that child because you know that exactly the child loves it and he's passionate about it. So if I invest in that child, the child is going to really come out great. Now, I'll also make an instance with someone like Davido. You know, when he was young, he wanted to do music. The father didn't support him. But it got to a point where the father felt like, oh, I have to support this child. Whether I am in or not, the child is willing to go all out. And today, a lot of people are trying to follow him, you know, learn from him, be his role model. So if the government doesn't support, I think they are not supporting citizens as well.
No.
They are not supporting us, and they are not supporting our culture. Because if Nollywood is preaching about Africa, about Nigeria, about our culture and our tradition, and the government is not supporting, you know, Nollywood, then there's a question mark. Okay,
I hope they will come and support us.
Of course, I always do that. I always do that. Anything, if it's in as much as if there's a culture, there's a tradition, and I am a Nigerian, and it is for Nigerians, then I am there.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's also talk about global recognition.
Okay.
You know, we have been recognized. I think for me, the little I know, because I know just a little. So we know that Nollywood, I would say, have been recognized right now. Now, I'll also talk about Funke Akindele's, you know, A Tribe Called Judah. I'll talk about Everyone Loves Jennifer. I'll talk about Anik Lakpo. I will talk about, there are so many movies I can talk about. Yeah, but you know, because they have hit the box office, you know, they've been in different countries. But then now, when it comes to the global recognition, now, what do you have to say about that? If you're to rate how we have been recognized, how we've been versatile. Yeah, we have a lot of streaming platforms that has really exposed people, you know, from Netflix to a lot of them out there and all that. So if you're going to like give it, you know, a rate, what will you say about how we have or we have not been recognized, and how far have we gone? Like how far?
No, we have been recognized. Our push, our resilience is telling, and the world knows. That's why, not just in the movie industry, even in our music industry, you find out that everybody wants to partner with us. The Actors Guild of Nigeria, 2 years back, started a festival in America that they go to California every year. Because the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria, Chief Dr. Emeka Rulaze JZMON, think that with the noise that we have in Nollywood, that it's about time that most of the Hollywood films will have Nigerians inside. So we are taking our markets there for them to see us, see our actors, see what we have, and bring in some of them in the productions that they're doing over there. Because you see some American movie scripts that have African tales, and they'll still look for an American to play it. You understand? So he's we've not been recognized enough.
True.
We are moving, but we are not yet there. Because if there's a Hollywood movie that have an African tale or African someone inside, we should end that contract.
Right.
That's what the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria is pushing presently. So that let the Hollywood people know that Nollywood have come of age to even be part of their productions.
Right.
And I believe soon.
Well, I believe with you. I join my belief and your belief together.
soon.
And I'm very sure it's going to work, because really, we all, like, I think every Nigerian is going to attest to that. Because, you know, there are lots of people like, oh, I before now, I do not watch Nigerian movies. But now they will tell you even more about the movie compared to you, who has been so into it. And
all those people saying is just perception. That's what I said. It's perception. People say, this, I don't like it.
And even when you check the cinemas now, when there are movies coming out, you tend to see that people are really watching. I remember that year, if I'm going to the cinema, to be honest, people are not really much. But now, sometimes you go to the cinema, they'll say, oh, I can't go today because it's crowded.
It will be crowded.
Yeah, so I'll pick a particular day and go. So
we are hitting the box left, right, and center.
Okay. We're still on it anyways, but then before we continue, because we have so many things we're going to be talking about, because, you know, you're here, we have to just bring out all the juices from you. Let's just get to understand what we do not know. So we are still on Entertainment Circle, but before we continue, let's just take a quick breather and we'll return shortly.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more. All on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet events to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chong Annabelle Joseph on Global Television.
With us, trust me, you have missed so much, but don't worry, you've not missed that much. Now, I am here in the studio. You know, we've been having this exciting discussion about, you know, the evolvement of, you know, the Nollywood industry, you know, how it has impacted on the Nigerian economy. And then I am in the studio with the former Actors Guild of Nigeria chairman, Agility Onwura, who is also the founder of the Nollywood New Yam Festival. And, you know, know, he's an actor, he's a director, and he's a producer. So he has so much. And I told myself that today we want to drain him dry and know everything we need to know. So you're welcome back. You're still welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's just move on to, you know, in every organization, in every industry, you know, even at home, there are challenges.
Yes.
You know, there are challenges that sometimes they feel almost difficult to solve. So tell us some of the challenges that are faced in, you know, the Nollywood, either from the, you know, the actors, the actresses, the directors, the producers, like literally the whole crew. What are some of the challenges that are so difficult, and then this, you know, the whole industry is feeling it?
First, I'll tell you challenges of being an actor.
Oh, wow.
One, most of the times, because if you can't leave it, then it's a problem. Most of the time, when some people will come to me and say, all these actors, why they don't have money?
Yeah, I think that word, we all say
You
that.
know, and I'll tell them that sometimes we use what we see on the screen to rate people.
Judge people.
So, and it's not as, because there are ways you do your casting. Mostly in Nigeria films, you find out that you always cast somebody that has body, well built, to be a rich man.
True.
And it's not on the pocket. You understand? So when people see him outside the screen, and they'll be wondering,
But he's
what?
doing all of this.
But he's
Why
doing
is
all
he
of this,
not?
so why
Yeah,
is not?
true.
So it's just a film. You understand? And those days, like I granted interview to one station, and they were saying that most of the actors, they died not having money. I said, not true.
Right.
I gave instances. I told him, I said, Sam Loco died a rich man. Very. But because people always see him on the screen as if he's a poor man,
Right.
but he died a rich man. And Ibu, particularly, is a millionaire, even upon his death. It's just that he had a long illness,
Yes.
which is
true.
understandable.
Yes. Even the
But he was a
richest
rich man.
will face that. It's not
So,
easy.
so most of the times, because people create content on the internet with everything, they play with people. Sometimes you see somebody writing on somebody's name that he's late, while the person is failed.
like,
because
you
people
know.
just want to create content. So most of the times, because we are on the face, we are always on the screen of people. People tend to. And sometimes last year, somebody called me, chairman, why are all the Nollywood people dying? I laugh. And I told him, I said, we are more than 3 million actors in Nigeria.
Of course.
I said, in your village, you
How
are
many
not reach 3
people?
million. But every
Exactly.
weekend, they bury person.
Exactly.
So you find out that it's just because the people that die, you know them.
know
So
them,
it's not
they're
as if
out
we are
there.
many. No, we are
Really?
not. How many?
True.
How many people?
You're right.
Are you getting? So we are always in the eyes of the people. And because there's no good story, like a bad news, people always want to take the bad one
news.
to judge us. But
True.
we are the best people that you can have.
Oh. Okay, now let's also move into, you know, the challenges when it comes to, you know, funding and then piracy. Now, for piracy, you know, there are so many issues when it comes to piracy, because you know, as an actor, after imagine making your movie, and before anything will happen, the movie is out there. Because I remember Toyin Abraham had big issue when it comes to like piracy, or money, or bully. You know, there are just so many things when it comes to, you know, piracy. So how can challenges like this be tackled?
That's where we need the government. It is policies that will help this. It is at a point we partnered with Copyright Commission to see that if we can, but in Nigeria most of the times we go to court, and because there's no poor man that pirates job.
Right.
No poor man. So you must have much more money to tackle whoever that pirates your job.
Right.
So it's part of the difficulties. But if there are policies, if there are institutions that people can run to help you fight those big names, those cabals, you know, it will help. We tried doing it with Copyright Commission, but there are still extent to where they can go, especially because of the laws that they have. There are so many other things the government still need to do, policy-wise, to help entertainment industry to grow stronger.
Well, Well, I just hope that the government will really do that, because the issue of piracy, I think for me as an individual who has not even been in that space, you know, I feel the pain, because, you know, imagine putting so much money, so much effort, and someone is taking away all of that from you. I think it's very bad. And to all the citizens or whoever is involved in this particular attitude, I think as Nigerians or whoever you are as a human being, we all are talented, we are created differently, and you can do your own, be original. Don't take away people's joy and take away all their hard work. And I'm very sure the government is going to also look into this matter and make sure something is done about it. So I want to say thank you for being part of, you know, the program today.
Thank you so
for
much.
The sake of time, I wish we have all the time, because I have so many questions to ask you.
Don't say how other things. As the programs unfold, why not? I'll come and spend 30 minutes, not 1 hour.
Okay, that's very okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And then to all our viewers, thank you for joining us today. We know that Nollywood has already undergone remarkable transformation, evolving from a nascent industry to a global recognized film house, and it has impacted the Nigerian social economy, and its impact is very profound, touching various aspects of society, from employment and cultural identity to education and social awareness. As it continues to grow, Nollywood is poised to further influence not only Nigerians but also the global entertainment landscape. And I hope as Nigerians, as individuals, we're going to support the Nollywood industry into, you know, preaching, you know, exposing and accepting our own Nigerian, you know, culture, our heritage, and our tradition. Thank you for joining me on today's episode here on Entertainment Circle. I am still your host, Chunk Annamel Joseph. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good weekend. Bye.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chunk Annamel Joseph on Global Television.